Ask all these to Graham again, except I'm not gonna ask like the ones in there.
To have a little bit of time to think about some of these because
No, we don't want to have too much time to think. Just off the top of your head. Go ahead, Eric. Just ask your first question.
Okay.
wait a minute. I could answer some of these questions real foolishly. You don't want those, do you?
We'll just keep the tape going. What we don't want, we'll edit out.
Okay.
So don't
all
worry
right.
about anything. We'll
Okay.
just take the good stuff.
Okay. Okay. First question is, when were you born and where?
I was born on April 30th, 1931 in town of Stewart, Nebraska.
Okay. And my second question is, what was life like when you were a kid? Like, was it?
Well, maybe I can answer that fairly easily. We didn't have the entertainment that you kids have nowadays, such as television and Nintendo. And we had to pretty much make our own entertainment. And our own entertainment was, in the wintertime, was sledding and skiing.
You would play marbles?
Oh, yes, we always played marbles in the spring of the year. It was kind of seasonal things. In the summertime, it was, when school was out especially, was going down to the creek and swimming in the creek, which was probably about knee deep, but we thought it was great. And then we would go around and around the lakes, and we would collect the eggs from the wild ducks, and then we'd put them under banty hens and raise them. And so we kept ourselves busy doing things and playing games, playing together, playing baseball, playing some football.
Okay. And did you have any hobbies or activities when you were a kid? Like did you go hunting or?
Yes, I was born, when I was born in Nebraska, we moved to Wisconsin when I was a young boy. But we moved back to Nebraska in 1941. And at that time, I was 10 years old, and we did a lot of hunting out there for pheasants and ducks. And that's where I learned to hunt.
Okay. In high school, you missed a whole year. What happened?
Well, I had an osteomyelitis. That's an infection of the marrow of the bone. And normally, at that time, the normal procedure was to amputate the limb that was affected to keep it from spreading to the rest of the body. But in 1945, they had discovered a medicine called penicillin. And they did experimental testing with penicillin on my leg, and as a result, I still got my leg.
Okay, so it worked.
Yeah, penicillin. I was the first person that penicillin was used on for osteomyelitis.
Okay.
So it was experimental at that time.
Okay. What position were you in the Korean War?
Oh, I was a supply sergeant.
Okay. Okay, and how long were you in the service?
I was in the service for 3 years, actually a little over 3 years, because by the time I got out, it was actually about 3 years and 2 months.
You might want to ask about were you part of the military police? Because you saw that one out.
Okay. Were you part of the military police?
We were what we called railway security. That was also military police, and our primary job was to protect the supplies that were going up to the frontline troops that were actually fighting the war. About the closest we ever got to it was when the enemy artillery would try to hit the train that we were guarding. And sometimes a shell burst would land maybe within several hundred yards of us, but when that happened, we made a fast retreat and got out of there.
Okay. Did you meet your wife before the war or after the war?
After the war.
Okay. When did you get married?
Well, goodness sakes. We got married on What was it, dear? July the 21st, 1957. 6? 1956.
Okay. Where did you live?
When we first got married, we lived in an apartment on Mifflin Street or Dayton Street rather, in Madison, Wisconsin. Then we moved to Stoughton, Wisconsin, and we lived in Stoughton, Wisconsin for a year until we built a home on Lake Kegonsa. And we lived there for 7 years. And then we moved to Indianapolis, or a town just north of Indianapolis, Indiana, called Carmel, Indiana. And we lived there for about 10 years. Then we moved to Highland, Indiana, and we lived there for 4 years. Then we moved to LaSalle, Illinois, where we have lived there for the last 16 years.
Okay. How many kids did you have, or do you have?
We have 4 girls and 2 boys. The 4 girls have 4 granddaughters and 3 grandsons. Each girl has one of each except Donna, which has just a girl.
Okay.
Why
That's
don't
all.
you ask him how many kids were in his family when he was a boy? Because you're
Okay.
going to have some.
Okay. How many kids did you have in your family when you were a boy?
Well, I had 2 brothers and a sister, so there was 4 in our family.
Okay.
Because you might want to
Huh? Well, I have a sister that is 3 years older than I am, and I have a brother that was 2 years younger than I, that he died in the Korean War. Then I have another brother called Wilson Rossman, who lives in McFarland, and his wife teaches at McFarland School.
Okay.
That's hard for me to talk about.